as a chorus. There's so much that happens when we sing, you know. I think music breaks down walls, it breaks down barriers, and we always hear stories about people's lives that are changed after we've sung, when they've heard us sing. And so I think the singing speaks for itself, you know. So what I would hope is that somebody's heart is softened, somebody looks at us in a different way, you know. We come in all shapes and sizes and colors and ages, and we look like your neighbor. We are your neighbor. And, you know, there's lots of ground to plow still in western Kansas, but I think it's happening. So I think just the most we can hope for is that people hear us and see us and realize that we're not that different from you.
Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
I think the best part about coming out here and doing is that you realize the country supports what we do. They don't support what they do. So the country's moving in the right direction, and I think it's important that groups like us stand up and show our support for the LGBT community around America, especially after tragic events in Orlando and around the world.
Sing on, brother, sing on, sing on.
Right now, as I'm seeing a real lack of love in our society, whether it's partisan, whether it's, you know, hatred because of a person's sexual preference. It seems like the world is lacking love. What the Heartland Men's Chorus brings is a message of love. I think that there are misconceptions that the further west you go, or the fact that you have an R behind your name, perhaps there is this level of intolerance. That may be true among some, but there's a very large group that simply doesn't agree with that, and just as much as there's the stereotypes that go along with having a certain sexual orientation, there's certain stereotypes that go along with political affiliations or living in rural areas. And I think that's the greatest thing we're accomplishing by having dinner this evening, is to take down all of those stereotypes, whether they be rural, whether they be something sexual or something political. It really just is the opportunity to eliminate those things and show that at the end of the day, it's about goodness and kindness.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our